Hello, my name is Sdarcy. The subculture that I've chosen is on first-generation students. The reason why I chose this subculture is because I had a handful of friends that were first-generation students, but never really understood what that meant. So I decided to go with something that I wanted to get a better understanding of and figure out the challenges and barriers that first generation students have to go through even before they get to college and continuing on until they receive a degree in post-secondary education. So who are our first generation college students? The term first generation tends to be thrown around a lot, but what does the term actually mean? Are they people whose parents did not attend college? Are they people whose parents did not attend a four-year college? Or maybe even are they people whose parents attended college but did not graduate? Regardless of how one defines first-generation students, family values, race and ethnicity, socioeconomic status, learning skills, and finding connections within that culture are issues that influence how first-generation students approach personal and academic relationships within higher education. Studies have shown when first-generation students come face-to-face with higher education, the reoccurrence of challenge is high. First-generation students come from families who have no knowledge of higher education systems, so they can't guide their students in the same way that a parent who has a college experience can. In that case, first-generation students must then master seeking resources to further their education, to develop an identity and a pathway of opportunities for a better lifestyle than what their parents had. As a result, advancement creates a barrier from connecting to family cultural value and the life they once had, which emphasizes a feeling of confusion, guilt, and shame. So why? Why is it important to develop a deeper understanding of first-generation college students at an institution of higher education? First off, this subculture makes up 43% of the population at colleges and universities nationwide. Second, this subculture is coined as a hidden status. First generations spiral in and out of their college involvement due to how their distinct experiences, culture, or required support while attending post-secondary education are often overlooked. First-generation college students commit to stepping foot at a higher learning only once if self-doubt or institutions provide a lack of resources and support systems. This experience can confuse the notion of wondering if they have what it takes to succeed and what will happen to them if they don't. Also, while many first-generation students may not feel at risk of making the transition to a college or university, some first-generation students are torn between two cultures, which means between family values and background and the foundation of post-secondary education. This can often lead first-generation college students to consider themselves as individuals rather than members of a group that shares common ideals and morals. What I found out is through my research, first-generation students have a commonality, which is learning how to become a double agent, or better yet, live a double life or a divided life. Parker J. Palmer describes the divided life as a concept of when true feelings and identity are expressed. One may be overlooked, ignored, or even hated. In many cases, first generations met their own identity and integrity in order to function on unfamiliar levels. So in this case, first-generation students won't want to be defined as first-generation students because they think that there's a connotation to it, and they just want to be able to get in, be successful, and receive their degree. On the condition that young adults come to college with what they've experienced or learned from their homes, communities, and schools, I've resonated with the importance of how Baxter McGold's self-authorship theory has a particular meaning to first-generation college students, especially within the three domains: cognitive, intrapersonal, and interpersonal domains. As first-generation college students, the origin of their own background creates a foundation of one's social and cultural heritage. However, when placed in the post-secondary education structure, first-generation students tend to feel the tension or divide and want to seek answers how they can become their own author to their own identity and integrity. Much of the struggle comes from the first-generation students relying on others of the decisions that were made for them. In one way I describe this and learned from my interview is Asher. He graduated from Penn State Altoona in 2016. However, in his junior year, he switched his major from hospitality to entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial studies. This was frowned upon from his mother because his mother, she did not attend college, but she went for training to be in hospitality. So she's always been in hospitality all her life, and she wanted Asher to pursue hospitality. When Asher was going through his college experience, he saw a need for change because he was developing his own self. So he started to choose his own identity and to work towards a future that was more successful for him in his own ways. Another way that he defined himself was through his organization of ROTC. He found a lot of discipline in it, and it guided him to work hard in his academic studies and to figure out how to make time for other clubs and organizations and how to make an impact on campus. So through this, he's been trying to find his true self while intertwining his past, what he expects of himself, and what others expect from him. And that's the importance of self. Finally, the last theory that I chose was Schlossberg's marginality and mattering. To me, I find this of importance because in a college environment, higher education professionals are looking to provide our students with support and resources and to show them ways that they are unique and they bring something different to the experiences of college or being at a university. So with marginality, it's often defined as a sense of not fitting in and can lead to self-consciousness, irritability, and depression. Feelings of marginality often occur when individuals take on new roles, especially when they are uncertain new role entails. So stepping into being the first generation of your family to go to college and to receive a degree, that's a big deal. And to have all that pressure on you and knowing that you have to think about how are you going to academically, socially, and financially prepare for this experience that is supposed to be so great, but there's so many stresses. So that's where we have to play into the mattering. So for higher education professionals, we need to pay attention to make sure that first generation students are feeling noticed. It's also about the importance, the feeling, and the belief that one is being cared about. It goes to say you're not just a number. It's taking people into consideration and to listening what they have to say. First generation students have a lot of wealth in their story and have so many different perspectives and experiences that have already built them up as a person. That makes it so interesting. Another factor is ego extension, feeling that someone will be proud of what one does or will sympathize with one's failure. Generally, when students go to college, they want to make their parents proud. That's something that they look forward to. And that's something that first generation students also look forward to. They're going to better their lives, but not only that, they're doing it to make their parents proud and to show them that they are not weak and they're not lazy. Another one is dependence, the feeling of being needed. So having voices being heard and getting our students to be a part of the voice of the campus to express things that need to be done. And the last one is appreciation. So feeling that one's efforts are appreciated by others. So that could even be just acknowledging the idea that they brought to the table and thinking about inquiring it into one way or another. How I look at it is some ways that colleges and universities can incorporate this is outside of the classroom, they can ensure that students are being socially integrated, where they can make sure that, they're connecting with other students or colleagues or administration and just having that connection or interaction that makes them motivated to be at college. Finally, the last theory that I chose was Schlossberg's by fielding these questions in my interviews. To me, I find this started of importance because insight in a college environment, how first generation higher education professionals are looking to provide our students how their development, support, and resources is a continual path to show them ways that they are unique and they bring something different to the experience. The search is never really over of college or what I value most about the first generation. So with college students, it's often defined as a sense of not fitting as well, and can lead to self-determination, irritability, and motivation. Feelings of marginality often occur when individuals take on new roles, especially when they are uncertain. You're a different student that has a motivation and determination, and you receive a degree, stepping into being the first generation in your college experience of your family to go to college and to receive. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you guys have a nice holiday. And to have